Okay, so here we will be dealing with a topic known as types of distribution, and after the types of distribution, there is another topic called as means of distribution. Types and means are completely different. We have to understand what is the meaning of the word types of distribution. Here, the distribution of animals on the surface of the earth. The distribution of animals on the surface of the earth has been classified into three or four types. The first type is, these are the major types. One is continuous distribution, then we have discontinuous distribution, and we also have bipolar distribution. So we have to understand the meaning of each type of distribution. To begin with, we will start with the continuous distribution. So continuous means it's simply there is another term called eurytopic. You can find two terms. One is known as continuous distribution. Another term is eurytopic distribution. Third term is cosmopolitan distribution. It simply means these animals are present in most parts of the world. That is they have a continuous distribution from one end of the earth to another end of the earth, or they are found in most of the important areas of the earth. So such animals which are exhibiting a wide range in their distribution are known as eurytopic. Eury means wide, present in wide range of areas. So wide-ranging animals are adapted to wide variety of environmental conditions. For example, you take human beings, you take a housefly, and then you take the lice, then you take cockroach. These animals are present in almost all areas of the earth. That means they have a wider adaptability or have better adaptability. They are capable of surviving even in extreme cold. They are also capable of surviving in extreme heat. So such animals will be having a higher level of adaptation. They are capable of surviving different types of environment. That means they will be better able to survive in a wide range of environment or wide range of habitat. That is why some animals are present in colder areas and also in warmer areas. Like they are present in desert, they are also present in Arctic or Antarctic areas. So such animals which can survive in a wider range of habitat or environmental condition are known as eurytopic animals, and their distribution are known as continuous distribution. It is also known by the cosmopolitan distribution. Then they are not specific to any particular type of food. That is another peculiarity. That means some animals, if they can survive, for human beings. Human beings have no specific restriction to any particular. They can survive. Human beings can survive in purely vegetarian food, or in purely non-vegetarian food, or in a mixed type of food. So that is the one reason why human beings are able to survive. For example, if you go to polar areas, you may not be able to get any kind of vegetables. Only on most of the animals there are polar bear, Arctic deer. Such animals are there. People surviving there are mostly consuming non-vegetarian food. So some animals are able to do not have any special restriction or special preference to any particular type of food. They can survive. For example, house crow. The house crow can survive in any area because there is an omnivorous animal, omnivorous bird. It is feeding on any kind of food. So such animals which do not have any particular preference for any kind of food can easily survive in different areas of the world. So that is one reason. Then another reason, they may have a special power to cross barrier either by flight, rafting or swimming. For example, between India and Sri Lanka, you know that there is a series of or string of rocks which we call by name Park Strait. If you take the map and look at the region, or you go to Google map, You can say between Sri Lankan and Tamil Nadu coast, you can find a series of small islands. Or rocks are there. Once there was a continuous land bridge between Indian mainland and the Sri Lankan island. And through that land bridge, animals from India were easily migrating to Sri Lanka. That's why the elephant which was present in South India is also present in Sri Lanka. Then in Sri Lanka, if you go to the leopard is present in Sri Lanka and it is also present in India. But if you take the case of tiger, there is no tiger in Sri Lanka. What happens in the case of tiger is that tiger actually originated in Siberia or such areas of the. And from Siberia, they gradually migrated to India. But when they reached India, this land bridge between India and Sri Lanka disappeared. So that leopard were easily able to cross into the Sri Lanka, but in the case of tiger, they couldn't cross to the Sri Lanka. That's why right now we have tiger in South India, but there is no tiger in Sri Lanka. Now, one important feature of these cosmopolitan animals or eurytopic animals is that they are highly adapted and in crossing the land. Maybe some animals who are very good swimmers, they can easily cross into an island. But some animals can easily fly, so that they will be able to fly for a longer distance. Such animals can easily migrate into an area called island. It can easily migrate and occupy an island. So such animals which have a better adaptation either in terms of swimming or in terms of the flight ability can move from one area to another area easily. So that is another peculiarity of the cosmopolitan animals. Cosmopolitan animals do not have any preference for any particular type of food. And second quality or second feature of the cosmopolitan animals is that they have a better ability, better adaptation in crossing the natural barrier. Natural barrier means sea is a natural barrier. Mountain is a natural barrier. Forest is a natural barrier. For a deer, it is mainly living in grassland. Forest is a natural barrier. Ice is a natural barrier. So any kind of natural features that prevent the movement of animals from one area to another area are considered as natural barriers. And these kind of cosmopolitan animals have a natural ability in crossing the natural barrier. Then another is that we have some example, wide range of animals include rats, bat, hawks, cuckoos. Cuckoos means quail. Then cockroaches, flies, house flies, mosquitoes, lizards, snakes, and human beings. So if you take all these animals, they are present in most of the important areas of the world. You go to Europe, you can find rats. You go to North America or South America or Australia or any parts of the Asia, you can find all these animals. That means they have a better ability of crossing the natural barriers. They can easily move from one area to another area. So these are the reasons why some animals are present in wider areas of the world. Many of the eurytopic animals have a continuous distribution because they are either companions of man and have traveled a long distance. For example, you take the case of cockroach. The cockroach that we are seeing in Kerala right now is scientifically known as Periplaneta americana. Another cockroach is Periplaneta australian. Another is Periplaneta germanica. That means these are not native species of Kerala. They were brought into Kerala by the Europeans. So when in the ancient times the Europeans are traveling in ships. So when ship from Europe reach Kochi area or any coast in Kerala or any coast in India, the ships will be there for a long time. So naturally the cockroaches present in the ships will be reaching the land. The rats present in the ship will be reaching the land. So this is how the many animals like a rat, cockroach, etc. have reached different parts of the world. Actually, they are companions of human being. When man is traveling from one, that's how. For example, right now, if you go to the Australia, In the case of Australia, there was no horse or donkey there. Now we have these animals are there. Dogs are there. The dogs that we are seeing here in our area. Such kind of dogs are also present in Australia. Human beings have taken them to those areas. So this is how some animals, which are considered as cosmopolitan animals, reach different parts of the world. Now we go to the another type of distribution known by the name discontinuous distribution. So in the case of continuous distribution, what we can see is that they are present in almost all the major continents, right from North America, Africa, Europe, India, Asia, Australia. We are finding these animals. Now, sometimes they may not be present in all the continents, but in most of the area. But in the case of some animals, these animals are not present in all the areas. For example, you take elephant. Elephant is present in Indian mainland. But elephant is also present in African mainland. But if you take other continents of the world, we cannot find any elephant. So what happened to elephant? So the most possible reason explanation given by the scientists is that once these animals were present in almost all parts of the world, but because of the climate change or other reason or lack of food, elephant were have got extinct in North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, and other major parts of the Asia. Right now, elephant is only present in India as well as Africa. You take the case of lion. Lion is present in India, and lion is also present in Africa. You take the case of cheetah. Cheetah is present in Africa. Cheetah was also there in India, but because of hunting, cheetah got extinct. So some animals are only present in few continents of the world. The probable explanation given by the scientists is that they have extinct in other parts of the world, either because of competition with other animals, or because of climate change, or because of the lack of food. So this could be the possible reason why some animals are only present in certain areas. Now, there is no tiger. Tiger is only present in an Indian region. China, tiger is there. Then Siberian tiger. Actually, the evolution of tiger started in Siberia region. From there, the tiger migrated to different parts of the world. Now, when the continuity of distribution of a species is broken by uninhabited area, which are sometimes very large stretches of ocean. So the definition is that when there is a discontinuous distribution, these animals are only present in certain areas of the world. And between this area, for example, between India and Africa, we have what we call Atlantic Ocean is there. So when there is a large natural barrier between the two major areas, we call that type of distribution as a discontinuous distribution. Then there are primarily four reasons why animals are distributed in widely separated area. Animals reach distant areas by sweepstake. Sweepstake simply means chance. The meaning of the word sweepstake. By chance they reach certain island. Or as insects, snails, rats by rafting. Raft means in Malayalam changada. So such type of for example, natural raft may be formed. And you know what happened during our flood. Heavy rain, many kinds of trees may be coming from Idiki region up to the Kochi area. Last time when there was a flood, I could see wooden boats are floating on the some islands near Kochi area. That may be coming from either our Idiki area or other areas. So the water can bring large trees, and sometimes on the branches of these trees, small insects, spiders, or sometimes smaller mammals can easily survive for many days. So that by that mechanism, these animals can easily reach into some islands. So these are the process by which animals are reaching. So the animals reach a distant area by either chance, as insects, snails, rats by rafting, turtles by floating and swimming, and birds are blown by storms. Sometimes when hurricanes are there or tornadoes are there. These heavy winds can take small birds to different parts of the world. They can drop them in faraway area, maybe 500 or 1,000 kilometers away from the natural habitat. So such kind of events are taking place. Another reason is that species was earlier distributed continuously. As I told you in the beginning, there are two major reasons. One reason is that these were once widely distributed animals, as in the case of elephant. But then they got extinct in other parts of the world. Another explanation given by the zoogeographists is that they reached these animals either because of using this natural like a raft, either by swimming ability. So that's how these animals reached into different parts. So right now what happens in the case of discontinuous distribution is that they are not present in all the parts of the world. There is an animal called peripatus. Peripatus is present in Africa, peripatus is present in India, it is present in Australia, and I think it is also present in South America, North America, but they are not present in all the major areas of the world. So these are the different examples of animals which are exhibiting discontinuous distribution. Then another feature is that continental drift separated continent and carried them to long distance, isolating animals from one day. For example, in the case of lion, cheetah, and elephant, we can, for example, India and Africa were once very close to each other. In the last class, we saw that how plates were diverging, moving from one point to another point. So, because of the slow separation of Indian mainland from African mainland, animals which used to be together, like African cheetah, elephant, then what happens in the case of lion, they were all in the same geographical area. But when India gradually moved away from that, the elephant gene pool got separated. And elephant gradually evolved into or developed into two separate species. Right now, the elephant present in Africa belongs to Loxodonta, a genus known as Loxodonta. Whereas elephant present in Asia is belonging to a genus known as Elephas. Elephas maximus is the scientific name of Asian elephant. Whereas in the case of African elephant, it is known as Loxodonta africanus. So they now gradually developed more differences, but they are still retaining the basic features. And that's how this kind of continental drift or separation of continents resulted in the formation of new species. That is the case of Indian lion and African lion, Indian cheetah and African cheetah. There are so many other kinds of examples. These are some prominent examples which you can easily remember. Another case that widely distributed species can become extinct in intermediate area due to change in the climate to which the species is unable to adapt. For example, there is another reason is that some animals are present in Africa, then they are present in India. But between India and Africa, we are finding Europe, and there is major areas of Asia. Because of the difference in climate, these animals got extinct in Europe. The climate of Europe is more colder. So animals which are living in warmer areas of the world, like India or in Africa, may not be able to survive in colder areas of the world. So because of that reason, these animals got extinct in colder areas. They only survive, and species population which are remaining in warmer areas cannot survive. So there is another explanation. Widely distributed species can become extinct in the intermediate area. That is, areas in between two major areas. They are on intermediate area. So, though animals present in those areas got extinct, whereas animals present in mainly warmer areas, they survive. So, that could be another explanation or another reason why some animals are only present in certain areas of the world. So, these are the four major reasons why discontinuous distribution is exhibited by only some animals, and some animals are only present in certain areas of the world. Here, this is a photograph of natural raft. And this kind of natural raft, they can float on the surface of a river or on the surface of, sometimes if you're traveling in ship, you can see large floating islands. And in this floating island, sometimes they may be up to 1 kilometer in length. And on the surface of such floating islands, mostly formed of trees, and some little bit of soil will be there, some grass will be there. They will be floating on the surface of the ocean for many months. And sometimes they reach certain islands, and animals present in this raft will be now occupying the islands, and they will be surviving there. So this is are known as natural raft. See here, this is another simple example of how the continental rift has resulted in the separation of animals. And so continental rift is a major reason for the formation of this. For example, many animals, India and Australia as well as Antarctica were once very close to each other. And now India has moved to the northern direction, by separating animals from Indian animals from other Australian or Antarctic or African animals. So this is the reason why some animals are only present in certain areas. So here you can find some examples of discontinuous distribution. For example, best example is this peripatus, already I discussed. They have 75 species, and we are finding it in Southeast Asia, East Indies, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, South and Central America. So these are the major areas where peripatus is a small worm, like this is the peripatus. This animal is known as a peripatus. Now it is small, almost like an earthworm or a worm-like animal. It is not a proper arthropod. It is not a proper annelid also. It has the features of both annelids as well as arthropod. It has studied about affinities of peripatus. So another example is the use of lungfishes. About lungfishes also you might have studied in your second year, that we have lungfishes in Africa, and we have lungfishes in South America, and we have also lungfish in Australia. And for your practicals also you are studying about why lungfishes are present in not present in North America, why lungfishes are not present in Europe. The major reason, explanation that we can give is that lungfishes prefer mostly a warmer climate. So if you go to South America, Africa or Australia, these regions are completely warmer or hotter. Whereas if you go to North America, major parts of Europe, major parts of Asia, they are colder, like China, Russia, etc. So these animals got extinct in that area. That's why lungfishes are right now present in only few areas. Then another is limbless amphibian. Then we have some examples like ichthyophis, giganophis, dermophis. These animals are present in Africa, South America, Central America, South Asia. I will show you example. This is the ichthyophis. If you go to the forest of our area, maybe in certain areas like rubber estate also, you can find an earthworm-like worm. It may be up to 1 feet in length, and the width thickness will be up to your finger. And that kind of worm, this is known as the ichthyophis. It is present in Kerala. In many parts of Kerala, we can find ichthyophis is there, and Ureoptyphus is also there. The feature is that they are amphibians. Now, you have studied about this limbless amphibian. Limbless means they do not have legs. So they are just worm-like body. They have a worm-like body, but they don't have legs. So almost like appearing like an earthworm, but much more larger than an earthworm, much more thicker than an earthworm, maybe up to 30 centimeters or 1 feet in length. I have seen in many parts of Kerala. So these kind of limbless amphibians are present in many areas of the world. They are present in African region is there. Then South America we can find, Central America and South Asia are there. Then East Indies, this Vietnam type area. So all these areas we can find this Diginophis or Ureoptyphus. So if you take the climate of these regions, we can find that they have a mostly warmer climate, tropical climate. That's why these animals are present there. But they are not able to survive in those areas like Europe, where a colder climate is there. If you get to any area of the Europe, Most of the time temperature will be below 20 degrees centigrade, maybe 10, between 10 and 20. That is a temperature present in Europe. So that's why some of these animals may not be able to survive there. Then ostrich. Ostrich, ostrich is present in several areas of the world. Now they have different varieties of ostrich also the Ria americana. It's present in South America, especially Argentina and Brazil. Then another is Truthio camellius, that is present in Africa. A closely related animal is emu. Emu is present in Australia. Then cassowary is in North Queensland. Cassowary means also present in Australia. North Queensland is a part of Australia. Then and also New Guinea, it's an island near Australia. Then kiwis are present in the east of New Zealand. So if you take all these animals, they are all somehow relatives of ostrich. And ostrich are, right now we can find ostrich in several areas. South America we can find, Africa we can find, Australia also we can find. So here you can see that. So these animals were surviving there because they prefer a warmer climate. But in those areas where warmer climate is not present, they got extinct. That is the reason that we can explain for their present day discontinuous distribution. Then other animals are marsupials occur in Australia, but one family, Diadelphidae, occur in South America. So you know about marsupials. Why marsupials are not present in other areas of the world? There should be some proper explanation. Right now we have marsupials in Australia, in kangaroos are there, the opossums are there, but there is one species called opossum, water opossum and opossum rat. They are present in South America also. Three species are there: opossum, water opossum and opossum rat. These marsupial animals are also present in South America. So only proper explanation we will be able to give is that once marsupial animals were present all over the world. Now if you study the evolution of mammals, you can see that marsupials are more primitive mammals. First came the egg-laying mammals, then came the marsupial mammals. Then came the more adapted, better adapted animals known as placental mammals. So what happens in the case of when the evolution of placental mammals is that they are more able, they can easily survive, so that they were competing with the marsupial mammals, and most of the marsupial mammals got extinct. So that happens in the most parts of the Asia, Africa, Europe, etc. But there was one important reason about Australia. Australia was once connected with Asia. If you look at the map of Australia, we can find that from Asia to Australia there are a series of islands: Malaysia, Indonesia, New Guinea. From these once these islands were closely connected with each other, so that animals present in Asia could easily migrate or move into Australia. So marsupial animals reach Australia very easily. And what happened after the evolution of placental mammals is that there was a separate, because of continental drift, these islands gradually separated. And when placental mammals evolved, Australia was completely away from most areas of Asia. So placental or marsupial mammals which were surviving in Australia were actually protected from the competition of placental mammals. Placental mammals could not reach Australia because there was no land bridge up to Australia. So placental mammals were unable to reach Australia. So the native marsupial mammals which were surviving, which were living in Australia, were easily protected. That's why right now we are finding marsupials only in Australia, where they are absent in other parts of India. Now what is the explanation that we can possibly believe for the presence? Maybe these marsupial mammals were highly adapted. They may be well good in competing with the natural rats present in South America. That's why when all other marsupials got extinct, they all survived, because there could be some reason these animals were highly adapted to survive in South America. But that's why right now we are finding opossums in South America, whereas other species of mammals or other species of marsupial mammals are not surviving in South America. Then we have common camel known as Camelus dromedaris. Camelus dromedaris occurs in the Middle East. They are also present in Africa. Then there is the relative of the camel known as the Camelus bactrianus. The Camelus bactrianus is found in Mongolia. Then a llama is there. Llama is another animal here you can find. This is the Bactrian camel. Then this llama is present in South America. So the camel species, the camel is present in different areas. Arabia we can find camel. Africa we can find camel. India we can find camel. Mongolia or China we can find camel. Then the camel is also present in South America. So once the camel is a common, all these camel might have evolved from one common ancestor. But when they reach the different parts of the world, they evolved in a separate lines and become separate species. Then about the use of elephant maximus and oxodont, I have already explained. The Asian elephant is right now present in India, Burma, Thailand and Sri Lanka. Then alligators are there. Right now alligators are present in only two areas. America, North America we can find alligator. China also we can find alligator. So alligator Mississippians in America and Cayman in South America and alligator cyanensis in China. But in other parts of the world they got extinct. So these are some examples of discontinuous distribution. So we will stop for today here. I have one more hour remaining. I will take another class.